This edition of WeatherScope is sponsored by the Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are.
This is WeatherScope.
Up and at 'em, everyone. It is half past the hour on this Wednesday morning, the 28th of January. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Edwards. This is Cheryl Lemke. I was looking at some stuff that went on or is going on or had gone on in this date in history. And, well, of course, first of all, this Chinese New Year starts the Year of the Tiger. Of course, if you follow PGA golf, last year was the Year of the Tiger.
That's
but
right.
this year might be also. You never know, I'll tell you. But on this date, 20 years ago, Fantasy Island debuted on TV. The plane, boss, the plane. Remember Hervé Villechaize?
I used to watch that all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a good. You made it in Hollywood if you were on Fantasy Island as an actor. And 25 years ago today, Barnaby Jones with Buddy Ebsen, who, of course, I don't know if he's more famous as Barnaby Jones or old Pa on the Beverly Hillbillies. Probably Beverly Hillbillies, I would guess.
Yeah, probably so.
But that happened, debuted 25 years ago today.
Big day in TV history, I guess.
Yes, indeed it has.
It's been a big day in weather history, too, because we've had a tremendous winter-like storm that's been coming up the coast and causing all sorts of headaches in the last couple of days or so.
And watch out in the mountains of West Virginia today.
And we'll show you that powerful storm system as we take a look at the latest satellite imagery. We have a fairly vigorous low-pressure system, as we were mentioning, and right now it's churning up the mid-Atlantic, causing all sorts of weather woes. We've had some tremendous snow coming down across the central Appalachians, also the mountains of North Carolina. In the last 24 hours, 1 to 2 feet of snow for some places. And again, it's causing major headaches and concerns. We've had numerous reports of downed trees and power lines because of the heavy weight of the snowfall. And right now, parts of Highway and Interstate 40 in North Carolina around Haywood County have been shut down because of the deep snow cover. The snow is still coming down at a very heavy clip as we head over towards Beckley, West Virginia. And that will persist for the next few hours or so. So traveling very treacherous. About the only folks who are happy about the snowfall, though, are the ski resorts, because lots of fresh powder, places like Snowshoe looking at some stellar conditions for skiing with all that fresh snow that's been coming down. Meanwhile, this low is also generating some very stiff winds. A very pronounced easterly flow coming in from off the Atlantic. Gale warnings and high wind warnings have been posted. And with that very strong easterly flow, it's helping to pump in a lot of moisture from off the Atlantic. So with this big wall of water crashing along the coast, we'll have to watch out for the possibility of beach erosion and coastal flooding, primarily during the time of high tides. So it could be a really rough day for mariners and boaters, just really nasty weather coming along the eastern seaboard this morning. Meanwhile, as we head towards the west, a few weaker disturbances coming in across the nation's heartland, keeping the weather fairly active. But then another powerful storm system poised just off the Pacific Northwest coast. And here, too, we'll have some major concerns developing throughout the day today. But so far, all eyes are focused on the East Coast. Here's a low really tightly wrapped up, and you can see the tightly packed isobars, and that indicates some strong easterly winds. Well, at last report, we had some of the winds around New York City gusting over 30 miles an hour. However, for Salisbury, Maryland, gusts exceeding 50 miles an hour. So again, a very dangerous day for mariners as we have the stiff winds and the choppy waters up and down the eastern seaboard. Here comes that moisture, too, making for a slow morning commute. We've had some rain interspersed with some sleet around LaGuardia this morning. Heavy rains, though, down towards Salisbury, and it's also raining pretty good, too, as we head over towards the Tidewater of Virginia. Up in the mountains, though, snow. And there are still winter storm warnings and winter advisories out for a good part of the central Appalachians, where a few more inches of snow cannot totally be ruled out. Right now, rain-snow mix over towards Charleston. Pure snow, though, for Beckley and Bluefield, West Virginia, where it has been snowing rather steadily for most of the evening hours. Then we have that steady cold rain through Washington, D.C., raining, too, for Philly. So if you're coming into Philadelphia today, heading in from Norristown or Upper Darby, just give yourself some extra driving time to get to your destination, as the roadways are bound to be very slippery and very treacherous. We pick up more of that cold rain spreading over towards Richmond and Roanoke, Virginia, and some wraparound moisture curling over towards Columbia, South Carolina. For the most part, though, the precipitation will start to wind down and start tapering off from south to north as we head our way across the Carolinas. But before it finally comes to an end, we could pick up another 3 to 6 inches of snowfall across the Appalachians, from Garrett County, Maryland, on into the Shenandoah Valley and across the Allegheny Highlands. A chance for several more inches of snowfall, at least through early this afternoon. We compare the northeast, though, to the southeast, and actually it's not looking too bad today. At long last, high pressure is building in from the west. It's going to be a gorgeous day today, Jackson, Mississippi through Atlanta, Georgia. And boy, temperatures warming up steadily as we start to get the winds coming up from the south, as opposed to highs in the mid-40s yesterday for Atlanta. Instead, today, highs should be topping off right around 60, and that's pretty nice for January standards. Nice weather today, actually, for Dallas and Houston, Texas, too, and not too shabby across the Midwest, although this weak area of low pressure will start to glide towards the east, and it may touch off a few stray snowflakes, and it's already touching off some light freezing drizzle as we head over towards Bismarck, North Dakota. And there's our next weather maker poised just off the Pacific Northwest shoreline. A quick look at the temperatures on this Wednesday morning. It's 27 right now for Minneapolis, 40 over through Nashville, and a chilly start to the day for Atlanta with 39 degrees. And you factor in the winds, and wind chills are pretty nasty. But the good news, the really, really cold air remains bottled over Canada, so at least no brutally cold Arctic air mass anywhere across the lower 48. Let's check out your forecast, though, and here's Bruce.
All righty, that low will finally start to head on out to the northeast, but that's going to spread rain, mainly rain to southern New England. Some of the interior sections, perhaps the Catskills, the Poconos, up to the Berkshires, could catch some snow, say from Worcester west, but eastbound mainly a stiff easterly breeze and some wet weather here to the northeast. Now, we could see an inch or more of rain as you get into the upper Chesapeake Bay and the Jersey Shore, with 3 to 6 inches of additional snow in the mountains of West Virginia. So again, be careful traveling here if you have to get out and about. While the system edging towards the west coast bring about a half an inch to an inch of rain over western Washington. High temperatures for today, once again, a seasonably cool 30s to the northeast, a little chilly and damp 40s across Virginia and the Carolinas, but mild in the Gulf coastal region. Once again, though, with that system moving north, we will see the spine of the Appalachians catch the snow, with rains primarily moving on up towards southern New England. But be careful out there.
This is the end of the United States of America, which explains a lot about Key West. And because the end is near, you can be here in no time flat. The Florida Keys and Key West.
Ever wish there was just one more seat in first class?
So did we.
TWA introduces Trans World First.
Our new expanded and enhanced first class.
We've added your seat and hundreds more,
60% more seats in all.
so more of you can enjoy all kinds of